Power Cleans, Qualitative Biomechanical Analysis to Improve Technique During Training. My name is Jim Bell, and this is Functional Biomechanics Kinesiology 5401. Importance of power cleans in training for sports performance. First, it is ground-based. Creates force and velocity to the bar and body by driving against the ground. This is called triple extension. Extension of the hip, knee, and ankle. Second, time efficient. One exercise works multiple muscle groups. Third, creates full body development. Develops kinetic awareness, increases muscle fiber diameter, and increases motor acquisition, recruitment, frequency coding, and synchronization through improved neuromuscular coordination. Basic biomechanical principles. The power clean. Efficient technique and form. Physics is applied to the human body. As the body is driven down, the bar is driven up, creating opposite gravitational force. Now let's look at the technique principles of a power clean. You have the center of gravity. Always points to the center of the barbell and body parts equally distributed. The center of gravity as a unit is the weight, which equals mass times gravity. Gravity being 9.81 meters per second squared. Area of base, power, is equal to force times velocity, or force times distance divided, which is also considered velocity. Trajectory. As we mentioned earlier, you have triple extension of the hip, knee, and ankle. And secondly, you want to keep the bar close to the body, anywhere from 2 to 3 inches. Characteristics to an effective technique in the power clean. You want to extend the body upward and allow the bar to brush against the thighs during maximum knee and hip extension. And that's the first pull. In the second pull, you will extend the body upward in a violent motion, establishing triple extension. Make sure the shoulders shrug and weight shift from heels to ball of feet. Pulls under the bar and catches it in the receiving position known as the landing position. And make sure the bar rests across the shoulders while keeping chest elevated, known as a big chest. One of the most important aspects to determine progress in a power clean is the watts that are generated. This is looked at in power, work, and force. Increasing upward speed of the bar to have more time to drop underneath during a clean movement requires the lifter to apply force that results in larger bar power. Now let's look at a case study on power cleans. Football player has a mass of 110 kilograms. He's lifting 225 pounds. In the second pull, he is moving the bar in 0.67 seconds and is covering 0.8 meters. What is the power output generated in the clean or the second pull? Let's look at solving the problem in watts. We know what our variables are. The formulas we have to remember is weight equals mass times gravity, and power output force times velocity. The power output was 1,295 watts. Now let's look at a second qualitative biomechanics analysis to improve technique during training. Observation. Observe the performance. Who will you observe? Will the lifter be a novice lifter? What conditions will the individual perform under? Is the environment hot or is it cold? Is it wet or dry? Where will the subject perform? Will you perform in a practice or competition venue? Where will the coach observe the performance? Will he observe it from the floor, one-on-one, or by technological means, video camera, videotaping? Most importantly, what will the for? Is he looking at the triple extension of hip, knee, and ankle extension? How about the shoulder positioning? What about the feet? Are the heels moving forward to the front of the ball of the feet? There are 3 points to observing the actual technique of a power clean: watching for the position of the body, range of motion, and direction of the bar during a pull. The third qualitative biomechanic analysis to improve technique during training is evaluation. Evaluate the technique of power cleans. You want to identify the errors or deficiencies in the clean. For example, shoulders well forward of the bar, more onto the balls of your feet, creating a forward lean. Example, picture to the right. Evaluate the errors. You want to expose the performer to injury, error to inappropriate equipment, determine if the error will improve the performance, error the result of an earlier error, is it easy to correct the error? As we stated in the previous slide, errors can lead to injuries. Common errors in the power cleans: driving with the hips followed by chest leads to back injury. How to correct those errors is push your hips down and keep your chest up. Stay tall. Another error is muscling the weight up must forcibly extend the hips. To correct this, we begin to extend hips while keeping the barbell close to your body. The other common error is the barbell drifts too far away from your torso into the catch position. To correct this, keep the bar as close to your body as possible, preferably 2 to 3 inches. And the last common error that you see is catching the bar while knees are too far forward. To correct this, explode up with your hips and shift your weight toward your heels. As we stated earlier, common injuries in the power cleans: back, primarily lower back; shoulders usually see strains and tendonitis; and knees usually see tendonitis. Moving on to the fourth and final qualitative biomechanics analysis to improve technique during training is instruction: augmented feedback. There are 2 types of feedback. There's intrinsic feedback, which relies on external source, example, coach, videotaping. There's verbal feedback, cueing the person, and visual feedback, modern technology. And secondly, intrinsic feedback, sensory perceptual system. During augmented feedback, there are 2 distinct types of feedback. There's knowledge of performance and knowledge of results. Experienced coaches will provide more feedback, provide more verbal feedback, and relate the information to previous feedback. Now let's summarize today's presentation. And there are a couple of points I want to make. First, let's define the challenges. Coaches need to know when to cue their lifters. Keep it to 1 to 2 points on a verbal feedback. Coaches also need to observe the technique and form of the power clean. Coaches need to have knowledge and proficiency in a power clean and Olympic lifts. Set realistic expectation. Mastery is not achieved overnight. Coaches and lifters must have patience. Olympic lifting is a very highly skilled technical form of lifting and takes time. Keep your eye on the goal. Develop a sound design training program. This program may require the use of periodization over a specific period of time. References in today's presentation follows. This concludes today's presentation on qualitative biomechanics analysis to improve technique during training, specifically power cleans. What are your questions?